Welcome into Rice Eccles Stadium for the 6A semifinals. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart in our matchup, the Bingham Miners and the Herriman Mustangs. Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you along with us. This is going to be an outstanding game. I've been dubbing it the Black and Blue Bowl all week long. You look at these two teams, Dane, they're built the exact same.
Yep.
Herriman really is kind of like the carbon copy of Bingham. They're big, they're strong, they run the football, they play good defense, but that normally has not worked for them to get over the hump of beating the Bingham Miners.
No, you're right, Dusty. I mean, all time, Herriman has never defeated Bingham. 0-7 all time, and the average score of those games has been 34-5 advantage Bingham. A couple of these have been close, but there have been a lot of blowouts. But you know what? It's November 10th. A little chill in the air. It's a great day for firsts for the Herriman Mustangs.
Hey, any time for the first is this time.
Yep.
And when you look at Coach Dustin Pearson, the Herriman Mustangs that won a championship 2 years ago, and they did it in a surprising fashion, knocking off the Lone Peak Knights. Well, it's going to have to take that kind of effort today, and they're going to have to find some offense. Can Herriman find offense against this Bingham defense?
Well, we're going to find out really early in this ball game, Dusty. They've been led by Maya Leakehi. He's been one of their leading backs all year long. And then, Freeland, the quarterback. They're going to be a lot placed on the shoulders of the junior quarterback. They threw with him a lot early on in the season. He had a couple of interceptions in that first matchup with Bingham. I don't expect them to let him air it out down the field a ton. This is a really talented secondary for Bingham. But when he is called upon to throw, he's got to make sure that he's very decisive. He gets the ball out. It's on target. Cannot have turnovers today if Herriman expects to get a victory and move on to a state championship game.
One of the biggest things in this ball game is the difference from this matchup and the one early in the year is the fact that the Herriman defense has come alive. They hit region play, played really well. And what actually gives you confidence they can do it is what they did against East. And from that moment, they kind of been looking, thinking that maybe this Herriman defense is up to snuff and is ready for this kind of game.
No, you're exactly right. And it's been a team that, when you look at the roster, you've got Herrera, Kump, Fotu. It's a team that really gets after the quarterback. And, I did a Herriman game earlier this year, and it was the same formula. It was getting after the quarterback and allowing your secondary, really not making your secondary defend for too long, allowing that pass rush to get up there. The question is going to be, one, is the pass rush there? But then secondarily, can you stop the run? Because these Miners are built on the run with Whistler and Kaili, and if they get the ground game going, boy, that really changes things.
We are teed up and ready to go. I'm getting a chance to see the Bingham offense first. Ryan Wood, Braden Whistler, Cosper, Milne. Yeah, all the names that we've gotten to know throughout this season and throughout the years. Well, they're going to be coming up very, very soon. And Butler kicking it away. And it'll be taken. No, it'll go into the end zone. So 1st and 10 for Wood and the Bingham Miners led by Coach John Lamborn, one of our favorites and one of the nicest guys, but somebody that is intense, he's very intense, but he's also put together. And also not to mention that interesting week here for the Bingham Miner football team. We'll talk about that throughout the broadcast, but this is the start of where they want to get to. The winner will take on East. And either way, it'll be a rematch from a regular season game. We'll start with Kaili, the deep back. And it is Kaili. He gets a gain of 3 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Nice start for this Herriman defense to get things going in the early going. And, that's going to be the key. If you're Herriman, you got to stop the run. We mentioned that, we haven't yet. Bingham can throw the football, Dusty. Milne and Cosper, talented receivers. Wood has been good, but it all starts with stopping the run game of the Miners.
Going to throw near side complete to Milne. And Milne loses the football, lost it ahead. And it will be a 1st down for the Bingham Miners on the fumble. So 1st and 10 at the 31.
Boy, not always quite like they draw it up, huh?
You wouldn't want to say that I love it when a plan comes together because they didn't plan that one.
But a good throw early on here from Wood. And, a couple reads on that one. Comes back near side, and Milne able to create some space and a nice turn up field. And early 1st down for Bingham.
So on first down, here's Braden Whistler, the leading rusher for the Bingham Miners, and the junior running back gets to the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
See just an inside run and a nice lead by his fullback. Whistler able to lower the shoulder pads, and first contacted on the play by Pursley, I believe, for the Mustangs.
Second and 4, Whistler remains the eye back. They pitch out to him. Defense is there. Whistler slips one tackle. He won't slip the slew of Herriman Mustangs that came in. Coming to clean them up was number 40, David Fotu.
And first man there was Nana Leakehi, the young sophomore. Dusty making an early statement here for Herriman. Nice job by this defense flowing outside, and Whistler's a speed guy. He gets around that edge and you're in all sorts of trouble. Good play by the young sophomore for the Mustangs.
Looking to throw. Wood out in the flat to Milne. That ball's popped loose. Not a fumble. It's an incomplete pass. Great defense by Leakehi. And it is 4th down, and the punting unit will come on for the Bingham Miners.
How about Isi, huh? Isi Leakehi, the senior. This is a good throw by Wood. It is on the money, and boom, look at that. Shoulder pad right on the ball, knocking it loose. And the Herriman defense, Dusty, you mentioned ever since that East game, they've looked a little bit different. They are ready for this semifinal.
Wood will punt it away. And it'll be a fair catch at the 23-yard line. And our first chance to see the Mustangs after Herrera held that in. And Coach Dustin Pierce and the Mustangs, what does their offense look like? Well, we just watched it. So a chance to see the Herriman come out. And Dane, you saw them against Riverton not that many weeks ago. Talk about this offense.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of back to the ground game, right? And Maya Leakehi, he's one of the leaders for them, wears number 3. You also have Sandoval and Morris. I mean, they've got a slew of tailbacks that they'll run out of this broken eye formation. And then just when you load up the box, they'll look for Freeland to air it out.
And on first down, it is Leakehi on the carry, only gets a yard on the first down carry. We mentioned the head coach there, Dustin Pierce, is back to us. Longtime head coach at Herriman.
Now, one of the things that we're going to talk a lot about is big number 77, Samote Pepa. You see him right there, Dusty. He was in the middle. He was taking up 3 Herriman linemen. And you know what that does? It allows the line backing of the Miners to come up and to seal off those inside gaps and make tackles.
And on 2nd down and 9, go back to Leakehi. And he gets to the 29-yard line. Nice carry. And it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Boy, good work by Leakehi on that carry. This one for a gain of 5. And you see the interior of Bingham flowing a little bit with the quarterback. And Leakehi coming back near side inside the hole. And nice opening couple of plays here for the Mustangs in a 3rd and short scenario. Playbook has a couple of options for Freeland in this offense.
So on 3rd and 4, Freeland throws, and that ball is intercepted. Going the other way, Tanner Merrill. Touchdown, Bingham Miners.
Well, when you talk about Freeland, we mentioned that I didn't think that we were going to see them have him throw the ball a ton. This is a low throw. Look at it pop up off the foot. And Tanner Merrill there just finds it in his feet. And just like that, I mean, a 3rd and short, that Herriman, a situation they want to be in. And 15 seconds later, they trail for the first time tonight.
So out come the Miners for the point after. And it is good. 8:41 remaining in the first quarter. The Miners strike on defense and lead 7-0 over the Herriman Mustangs. You are watching the 6A semifinals on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. It'll be Herriman football as Brandon Lopez will kick this one away. And Herriman trying to regroup after that defensive touchdown, and it'll be taken inside the 5-yard line, coming near side to the 20. And on the return was Ben Fife. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as Herriman tries to regroup from the pick six. Well, the tip six is what we should call it. But
or the kick six.
Hey, you know, Auburn, Alabama has something to say about that.
Good point. Good point.
I was going to remind you, our commentary brought to you by Tosh Orthopedic Specialty Hospital. Free injury assessment. Call and make your appointment at 801-314-4040. Let the experts at Tosh get you back to health. Leah Cahey dots the I. They pitch out to him. Not much there. A lot of blue on the outside, and you see the speed and the pursuit of this Bingham Minor defense as a host of Miners were there.
Lolani Longy tied for the team lead in sacks. And while this isn't a sack, look at the penetration by 43. Fantastic job by the junior. Longy, just a junior, getting back there and disrupting the toss play to Leah Cahey.
Something seems right about a Longy playing at Bingham High School.
Yeah, right? Where have I heard that before for the last 8 years?
2nd down and long, and Leah Cahey again finding no room to run. He's back to the line of scrimmage and is now 3rd down and 13.
And this is a situation that, Herriman's not going to love being in 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13 in this ball game. And, that interception, look, it is what it is. It was a pick. Kind of a bit of a fluky pick, right? Freeland's trying to put that in a spot where only his guy can catch it, but 3rd and 13, this is a uncomfortable situation for the Mustangs.
Going to throw, got a man, and it's just overthrown, incomplete. It is 4th and 13, and the punting unit will come on.
Matangi there in coverage for the Bingham secondary, and I thought that maybe because he was over the top, the receiver was maybe a little slow out of the route, not thinking that's where Freeland was going to go, but really it was the only chance at the 1st down, and just ends up overthrowing it, and impossible for Herriman to convert.
Herriman comes out in a short. There we go. There's the shift. I was a little surprised at that. As Whistler waits around the 45-yard line for this punt. And it is a line drive wobbling kick that takes a Mustang bounce taken by Whistler. He slips 1. He won't slip 3. And Whistler is dropped at the 33, maybe 34-yard line. And we got a timeout on the field. We'll take it with him. 7:07 remaining in the 1st quarter. Bingham leads 7-0. Maybe their ball. When we come back, you're watching the 6A semifinals on Live.KSL and DeseretNews.com. Welcome back to Rice-Eccles Stadium. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you here in the 6A semifinal. The winner will take on the East Leopards. It'll either be a region matchup or a Week 2 rematch. 1st and 10. We'll start with Ka'ili. And Amoni can't find any sledding against the front of the Herriman Mustangs. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Nice job of bottling him up. And usually what you see is what we saw in our first 5A semifinals. We have another look at that long 3rd down play attempt in the overthrow. But go ahead.
No, something I saw down. Fife got an earful from Coach Pierce. I didn't know if maybe we saw where the mistake was, but I missed it too. So.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Sorry, I stopped your thought. Well, go ahead. Hey, look, officials are helping us out. So continue your thought, Dave.
We'll just kind of reset here. I was just going to say one of the things that you typically see from Bingham is kind of more of those power runs, and nice job of Herriman really clogging up the interior, and that's not an easy task to do. Generally, this offensive line for Bingham opens up lanes pretty well. I mean, you figure Whistler nearly 1,000 yards rushing, Ka'ili over 700 coming into this one. Multiple backs have had success out of this offense, and if Herriman can clog up those lanes, it provides them a chance to hang with the Bingham Miners.
2nd down and 15. Wood working out of the shotgun. Doesn't have anybody open. Going to tuck and run, and Wood has the first down across the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 Miners.
Wow, what a run by the quarterback. And trying to find an option down the field to throw to, and just nowhere. The coverage was good by Herriman, but Wood recognizing that and finds a lane to take this ball up ahead, 17 yards. Usually when the quarterback runs for Bingham of 17 yards, it's on a sneak, not on a shotgun pass, huh?
And called on 1st down as well. So here's the fullback run, and it is a carry to the 49-yard line, and that is Moni Ka'ili on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Well, they're giving a steady dose of Amoni here in the early parts of this first quarter. We mentioned the speed of Whistler, and Ka'ili kind of more that physical back that we've seen over the years from Bingham. Another just dynamic 1-2 punch for Coach Lamborn's offense.
And it'll be Whistler on the counter, and Whistler swallowed up. Nice job coming up and making that quick tackle was number 49, Tristan Carmen. And it'll be 3rd down and 6 now for the Miners.
And a couple of Mustang defenders getting in the backfield on that run. Saw a pulling guard, but it opened up a lane for Herriman's defense to really take advantage of. And getting in the backfield, closing down the rush. Just Whistler, as quick as he is, can't get outside of the backfield, and no gain on the play.
3rd down and 6. Wood fires deep over the middle. Nobody home. It's intercepted. Going the other way for Herriman. Caden Hammer. And just what the doctor ordered for the Mustangs.
Miscommunication here. There's no safety over the top. Wood is trying to throw back. The receiver actually runs a post, seeing it wide open, and a fantastic job with the interception for Herriman. Fisher Jackson creating the big turnover. Sorry, might have been Hamry. I thought it was 7, Fisher Jackson. Anyway, whoever it is, what a turnover. I'm going to go with Dusty. He was right in our 6A game earlier as well.
There's a give off the right side, and the first bit of room there for Sandoval. And Sandoval's inside the 40-yard line to the 38, and now a lot of breath of life breathed into this stadium on the red and white side.
Yeah, and this is a back that I think is really undersold for Herriman. A lot of talk about Maya. Morris gets a lot of touches, but Sandoval actually has the highest yards per carry on the team. Really like Quincy in this running game for the Mustangs.
2nd down and 2. And back on the ground is Sandoval, and Sandoval has about a yard on the carry, and he's met in the hole by number 45, Junior Tafuna.
Boy, and that's a really tough 1 yard, because he has Samote Pepa, the big 6'3", 330-pound defensive lineman, falling right on top of him. Pepa, who filled in last year for J2 Fele at that nose tackle position. Now the starting job this year, he's been good. You see him right there lined up over the ball, number 77.
And it's a give to Sandoval, looking for the first down, and looks like he has it. 1st and 10, Herriman. at the 36-yard line. And Ata makes the stop, but not before Sandoval has the first down.
And, you know, it's not the biggest game that they've had on the ground today, but they only needed one. They get one. And right now, this is about chopping down a tree. And it's just a stroke of an axe, and just little chips coming off in your hope to slay the giant.
And it's Sandoval inside the 30-yard line. Is Sandoval getting a little help from his friends to the 29.
You know, over the summer, this was regarded in a few camps as one of the better offensive lines in the state. And going up against one of the better defensive lines over the last, 5-10 years in the state with these Bingham Miners. And you see Sandoval, the power, lowering the shoulder pads and taking on the Miners and just pushing ahead for 8 yards.
2nd down and 2. And it's Sandoval getting popped and dropped. Mercy. That was Ata who came flying in there. Big hit on Sandoval. Backs him up to the 29-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Well, that was a big hit. Fantastic job coming up for the Bingham Miners, and Ata, the junior linebacker, 5'11", 210. Wearing number 22, you'll see him flying all over, lined up middle linebacker here on 3rd and short.
Gonna throw, pressure coming, fires, nobody home on that pass. Coach Pierce wants a call. I'm not quite sure what he wanted, but incomplete, and it's now 4th down and 3, and you're in that gray area where you can go for it here.
Yeah, intended for Alex Anderson, and the 6'4" sophomore. Nice lengthy option for Freeland. And I think Anderson may have gotten just chipped a little bit, and I think that's what they were hoping to see some benefactor for from the officials, but none coming.
4th down and 3. Herriman will go for it. Freeland fires in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, and it is turnover on downs with the incompletion. And we have a timeout on the field as it'll be Bingham Miner football, and we come back. 1:32 remaining in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Bingham in the 6A semifinals.
Coming back, and we have another look at that 4th down play, and they had to get to the 26. You see Alvey, the route ran at the 25 and diving just through the fingertips. A big play and a lost opportunity early here by the Herriman Mustangs.
Yeah, could not get points on that turnover, but did set Bingham up around the 30-yard line as they're going to go deep on the first play, and it was near the 2nd interception of the first half. Nice defense from Darian Strait, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
You know, there's something to be said about having wide receivers that play defensive back for you as well. And that time, Sprayton Cosper quickly flipping sides of the ball. I mean, that was nearly the 2nd interception of the game thrown by Wood. And, you know, he played a relatively clean game in that first matchup, Dusty. 14 of 19, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And here early on, 1 of 3 with a pick and nearly a 2nd thrown there.
2nd down and 10. Pitch out to Whistler. Braden looking for a hole, and all he's got for all that effort was Leakehi laying the wood.
Woo. We're hard hitting today, folks. This is the loser's done, and they know it. I mean, look at that. Fantastic job coming in and hitting him right with the pads. Boy, Herriman flying around here in the early going.
Tyson Herrera also in on that stop, and it's 3rd down and 10 for the Miners. Whistler remains the deep back with Kaili. Wood fires complete. Kaili makes a nice move for the first down, still trucking. We have a flag on the play, laying around the 38-yard line. As of right now, it is 1st and 10 at the 49. Herriman pointing that it's on Bingham.
A screen play, and I like the call on 3rd and 10. Allows Wood to maybe settle into the throw a little easier. Herriman, some over pursuit on the play, but it won't sting him. This one's coming back.
Yeah, an eligible receiver downfield. And it's some lineman.
You see right up there, had a lineman ahead on the screen, and that ball thrown across the line of scrimmage with lineman that far down. A good job by the officials to see it and call it.
And that one's on Kaili. Because Kaili stays behind the line of scrimmage, there is not a penalty.
Yeah.
And Kaili drifted into the no man's land there across the line of scrimmage and draws the penalty. Wood fires. That pass complete to Cosper, and Cosper has the first down at the 40-yard line. We're in the final 10 seconds of the quarter. Could be the final play if Bingham doesn't rush this one on.
Boy, chance to get off the field, and once again Woods rolling to his right, and Cosper just settling down inside the zone right at the sticks, and fantastic job by Cosper. He and his quarterback on the same page for the first down.
And that'll do it for the first quarter. At the end of one, it's a defensive touchdown. It's a separation. Bingham leads 7-0 over Herriman in the 6A semifinals. Welcome back into Rice-Eccles Stadium for the beginning of the second quarter. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you, and remind you that our commentary brought to you by Tosh Orthopedic Specialty Hospital. We've been mentioning in all of our videos on Deseret News Rewind that if you have anything going on, get to the experts at Tosh for a free injury assessment at 801-314-4040, and let the experts at Tosh help you back on the road to health and back to being you. Got a big turkey bowl coming up pretty soon, and got to make sure that I'm in tip-top shape here.
That's right, man. Hey, you got quarterback awards to defend, huh? Dusty can sling it.
You know, I'm feeling pretty good about that. You know, I kind of like Forrest Gump. You wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I could throw a ball over that mountain.
Arms in shape, folks.
You wouldn't believe if I told you that I could run like the wind blows. Start of the second quarter, and we'll start with Bingham in the shotgun. The formation we don't see a whole lot. And it is Kaili on first down, and Amoni Kaili powers his way to midfield, and that is enough for a first down. 1st and 10 Miners.
I mentioned a formation we don't see that much, and when we do, it's typically not running out of it. Kaili with a nice carry, and you see Herrera coming up the safety. Kaili able to shake that off and get forward for an extra couple of yards and move the chains for Bingham.
And on first down, here goes Ryan Wood. And Wood inside the 35-yard line to the 33. 2 plays, 2 first downs for Bingham.
You know how many yards he picked up? 17. Just mentioned it a couple drives ago. Usually when he runs for 17, it's on a quarterback sneak, and bit him right there with that very same play call on first down. Well, not the same play call. Play call we alluded to on first down.
So 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. And we work on the ground again, Ka'ili, and this time we'll see a 2nd down, as it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Fotu in on the tackle for Herriman, and he's one of the guys that I thought would have to play really big for this Herriman defense. Kump as well. Guys that are going to play at the next level. And, hey, look, Bingham's the number 10 team in the country coming into this one. I mean, you need your stars to be stars, and for Herriman on the defensive end, it includes those two.
And it's Wood on the quarterback run. And Wood is pushed back. Initially there on the stop for the Herriman Mustangs, I believe was number 10 or number 40, and that was Fotu.
You see a design draw, and Bingham, I mean, Whistler has struggled to get going on his 3 carries. Ka'ili has been okay, but below his average as well. And so get the quarterback going, see if that can't open things up. Ryan Wood right now with 36 yards on just 3 carries.
Drake Elliott was also in on that stop. As 3rd down, Herriman needs another stop. Again, it's Wood on the run, and Wood still pushing toward the 25-yard line. My, oh my. Just wouldn't go down.
Well, that's going to be a frustrating one for Coach Pierce in this defense. I mean, look at when he first gets contacted, folks. It's at the line of scrimmage. It looks like the safety, Herrera, has him. And somehow Wood just able to keep sliding underneath tacklers. Herrera missed him. Pursley missed him. And he's going to be close to that 1st down. Going to be short. But, boy, 4th and 2 is a lot different than 4th and 6, 4th and 7.
You get Tavita Angulau an assist on that one. They put this, helping him along. And we got a timeout on the field. And the Bingham Miners take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 9:18 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Bingham on the move. You're watching the 6A semifinals on the Watch It Network. Fourth down and 2, and the Miners are going to go for it. Out comes Wood and the offense in the shotgun.
Another Bingham timeout.
Another Miner timeout, another opportunity for us to step aside as well. Timeout Miners. We'll be right back on the Watch It Network. So after back-to-back Bingham timeouts, out come the Miners.
You know, Dusty, coaches study the game, right? And in the first 6A semifinal, the winner called back-to-back timeouts. So maybe Coach Lamborn implementing that piece of advice.
Power eye, and Ka'ili will not get there. They brought in all the beef, and it didn't matter. Herriman stymies Bingham, and it's turnover on downs. Mustang ball.
Look, if it isn't Ryan Wood, this Bingham ground game has not gotten going, and a fantastic job, and it all starts low. Typically in football, you hear the saying, the low man wins. Well, this time, the low man for Herriman absolutely disrupts the blocking of Bingham. There's no hole for Kaili to go through, and a fantastic stand, and a big one made early on in this second quarter, Dusty. The second quarter is where this game got away from Herriman in the first matchup. They were outscored 17-0 in the second quarter. You have a feeling that was an important stop for Herriman if they want to stay in this semifinal.
Well, this semifinal looking like the first semifinal. Timeout taken by Herriman. Their first charge timeout. We'll step aside with them. 9:14 left in the second. Herriman ball. So back come the Herriman Mustangs, 1st and 10 after holding the Bingham Miners. And it's a ball deep, and they got his man. Fisher Jackson with the big grab. 1st and 10 Mustangs at the 41.
Boy, this is where Freeland wants to go from the very start of this play, and man coverage on the outside, and a fantastic job by Jackson going up and winning this, finding the ball in the air in man coverage, and it's a big gain for Herriman on 1st down.
After that big strike, 1st and 10 from the 40. And it's a short gain on 1st down. Leakehi on the carry. Ata with the stop. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
You know, it's so interesting, Dusty. We've mentioned that Herriman really trying to build their program based on Bingham and that minor recipe for success. And I mean, just so important to stop the run on both sides. And you would think that Bingham, a little more evidence over the years of doing that, and fantastic job on 1st down of stuffing Maya.
Leakehi on 2nd down and gets to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
You know, there are going to be no easy yards in this game. And, I mean, a couple of carries for Leakehi, a total of 2 yards. I mean, it's just going to be physical, interior run. And this is where games are won and lost up front along the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 8. Freeland. Pressure comes, and down he goes. David Latu with the sack and knocks Herriman back to the 45-yard line.
Boy, and this was one where, I mean, just pressure from the start. I mean, Freeland barely gets to the back of his drop, and he's got Latu all over him. A fantastic rush by Latu. We mentioned that front. The junior defensive lineman coming up with a big sack.
Herriman going trips near side to see if they just quick kick it here. Freeland waiting for the snap. And that's exactly what they'll do. An end over end kick that takes a Herriman roll. They'll be down at the 7-yard line. And it'll be minor ball inside the 10. .6:45 remaining on the official game clock.
You know, Dusty, Herriman's doing what they need to do to hang around in this ball game. And they've been able to move the ball. haven't been able to find the end zone yet, but pushing Bingham back. And right now this is a, hey, get a quick 3 and out, maybe allow 1 first down and keep the pressure on in the Bingham end of the field.
Wood on the play action, fires in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. There was a lot of green grass ahead of Casey Lewis, but Lewis could not squeeze it, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Boy, and I'm not sure if Kaili maybe threw this one off a little bit. Kaili ran just into the flat, and there was a end or a linebacker there for Herriman that Kaili locked up with a little bit, and then he released. The throw by Wood went right past Kaili, and I'm not sure if Casey Lewis thought it was intended for him and that ball kind of jumped on him or what, but a big missed opportunity for the Miners on first down.
2nd down and 10. Whistler, the deep back in the I formation. And it'll be Whistler. And he is eating up. The ball's loose. Herriman says they have the football. Herriman ball inside the 10.
Dusty, it's exactly what I just said. If you're Herriman, you're just hanging around and you're hoping to put your offense in a favorable situation. I thought it'd maybe be a punt, but hey, nothing more favorable than forcing a turnover, the fumble by Whistler, and it's 1st and goal for the Mustangs just like that with a chance to tie things up here midway in our 2nd quarter.
McCall Morris comes in as the deep back, but now we have the 3rd and final timeout taken by the Bingham Miners in the first half. Herriman looking to tie this game up when we come back. 6:33 remaining in the half. 7-0 Bingham in the 6A semifinal. First and goal from the 8-yard line for the Herriman Mustangs. And a give near side, and not a whole lot of room to be had there. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, this game is measured in yards. If it was measured in a smaller measurement, it'd be an even less gain. And again, you see coming around the edge, Longy, number 43, pushing that inside, and Bingham bringing the pressure with the linebackers. There's not a lot of room.
Morris now the deep back for Herriman. It'll be Morris on 2nd down inside the 5-yard line where he's pulled to the ground. Ata along with a couple others in on the stop, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
See a little bit of a counter here, the pulling guards, and Morris just trying to come in behind him. The lead block by his fullback Castro, and Herriman inside the 5 on 3rd down, Dusty.
Cole Moody also in on the side.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to ask if this is 2-down territory. I was going to try to preface this with, I don't believe it is.
I believe it is. But now we're going Wildcat. Tyson Herrera in at quarterback. And luckily, I think we had a timeout before the play, a delay of game, Dane Stewart's telling me. And a lot of times you have these changes, kind of some of the stuff that happens are things what a quarterback's used to. So now back him up 5 yards.
Well, and it's not your quarterback, right? I mean, it's your safety coming in, and I mean, they've ran that. It's not the first time that they've run that play, but you're a little slow to get it out there and to get lined up. And there's so many different reads, especially for someone who's not, overly familiar doing that play in, play out, checking the linebackers a whole blocking scheme, and costly.
Freeland gonna fire to the end zone, got his man. Touchdown, Herriman Mustangs. Alex Anderson. How about the answer from Herriman?
Look, let's be honest here. I think this is all Tyson Herrera just wanting an extra 5 yards on the touchdown pass for Freeland. A fantastic route. Look at him come right back to the flag. Not a lot that the coverage by Merrill can do, and the Mustangs with a big response.
I would say that was a little messy. We'll be doing this one again, more than likely. So offsides on the Miners, and we will do it again.
All right, Dusty. Are you feeling lucky? Did you go for two?
No.
No. I'm glad. I was going to give you a sanity check if you had answered yes on that one. A little early.
Herriman can tie us up here with the point after. And the kick from Blanco is good. 5:17 remaining in the half. Herriman marches and scores on and cashes in on the mistake from Bingham, and we're tied at 7 in the 6A semifinals. Welcome back into Rice Eccles Stadium, and if you join us in the very top during our open, we talked about the fact that this is not the same Herriman team that Bingham faced the first time. That they have been playing so much better since the preseason, as Coach Pierce calls it.
You know, there's something really dangerous about 34-0, right? And part of that is maybe a little bit of overconfidence, and part of that is maybe a little extra motivation for a team that already has a chip on their shoulder. I mean, these are neighboring schools. They've been in the same region in previous years. A lot of reason for Herriman to come out motivated, and that only adds to it.
Got a flag on the return from Braden Whistler. Got out to the 30-yard line.
You know, bring this one back, Dusty. And we've called a fair amount of Bingham games over the years. We've got 5 minutes left in the second quarter. We've seen penalties and 2 turnovers. I mean, this is a Bingham team that right now is not playing like the program has played ball games, especially big games. I mean, this is a semifinal, right? This is not a Week 6 match.
Face mask penalty.
Oh, my bad. I thought this was going to be a Bingham penalty just given where the flag was thrown. I'm not sure if we'll see it from here, but we'll give it a look. Going to be right down near the bottom. You can see it, yeah, right there.
Oh, there
right
it
at the 25-yard line. Boy, good find.
That's a rare face mask, too, as he's falling backwards and grabbing on the blocker. As Kaili has the carry on first down, gets to the 38-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
And I think now's the opportunity for, you know, Coach Lamborn and his boys to respond. And one of the interesting things about Bingham, and I mean, you look at their year, Dusty, how many times have they really been tested? I mean, not many.
Well, last time we saw, at least I saw them, was against Kahuku.
Yeah.
And they were not tested. They were not offensively tested. It was a 17-7 win. It felt more like a 57-7 win with how dominant it was as Kaili gets to the 44-yard line. But to your point, it's been a while since Bingham's been tested.
Well, and even their closest game this year was Lone Peak. That game ended 28-10. And, I mean, we mentioned in the other 6A semifinal where Lone Peak played that, you know, 2 pick sixes for Bingham. I mean, the defense really swung that game, and it just never really quite felt that close. I mean, it was competitive, but I think Bingham kind of knew they had it. And And right now, how about Herriman with showing a little bit of fight, right? Punching him right back, and it's time for Bingham to get angry.
Moni Ka'ili has the first down as he's brought down at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10, and a fresh set of downs for the Miners.
And a steady dose of Amoni Ka'ili, and we talked on the last drive about how really, if with the exception of Ryan Wood, this ground game hasn't gotten going. And I mean, 3 carries and 14 yards for Ka'ili to bring his total up to 33. But I mean, prior to that, Dusty, 6 carries, 19 yards. I mean, just been tough on the ground for him. Braden Whistler, 4 carries with 6 and the fumble. I mean, Herriman's done a fantastic job, again, with the exception of Wood, who's bit him once or twice, well, 3 times.
And it's Ka'ili on first down. Amoni gets to the 49-yard line of the Mustangs before they drive him back. And it'll be 2nd down and 8. Well, it's been impressive what Bingham's done too, Dan. His first down has not been the best of downs. Now, granted, they had a little string there where they were picking up a bunch of them, but in successive plays. But Herriman's gotten him to 2nd and long. So now it's just a matter of getting Bingham to 3rd and long.
And you know the interesting thing, I mean, we talked after the 5A games yesterday about being uncomfortable. And I'm not sure how comfortable Bingham is in the shotgun. I mean, they've done it a couple of times, and it's worked out on occasion, but this is just not a formation that we're accustomed to seeing.
Herriman calls a timeout, 3:07 remaining in the half. You're watching the 6A semifinals on the Watch It Network. Welcome back into Rice-Eccles Stadium. It is 2nd down and 8 out of the timeout from Herriman. I think they're a little shocked to see this shotgun formation.
I think a lot of Bingham fans are shocked to see the shotgun formation.
Woods pass outside complete to Braden Cosper. No, the Mr. Official says, no, sir. Saying he didn't have it. Cosper begs to differ, but it is now 3rd down and 8. Just talked about it. Can they get Bingham to 3rd and 8?
They did. And, I mean, you know, it's interesting. We talked about Woods' efficiency in that first game, 14 of 19. Dusty, 2 of 6 in this one, 24 yards, the interception. Matching completion percentage for Blake Freeland, also 2 of 6 for 44 yards. I mean, both quarterbacks look, it's not ideal to be throwing the football, I think, in this weather a lot. And right now, I think this is playing into Herriman's hand.
Bingham fans booing the replay on the Jumbotron. Wood going up top to Cosper, got him this time. 1st down, Bingham Miners, Braden Cosper with the grab, and it's 1st and 10 at the 23.
Boy, great throw this time from Wood, and Cosper able to get past the defender right at the line of scrimmage, and just a simple go route, Dusty. I mean, you see the separation there, and running back is Leakehi to get the tackle, but Cosper, a fantastic move, and I think one of the better receivers in the state that people just don't talk about enough.
It is Ka'ili on 1st down. Ka'ili to the 19. We don't talk about him because they don't throw the ball to him that much. You go look at his stats and you think, really, this is a guy that BYU is pushing so hard to get because he just doesn't have, you know, you're not going to be surprised by anything.
Yeah, I mean, and especially on the offense, and we've seen this with other players this year, is it's so much about fitting in the system the right way. And I mean, he fits in the system, but you're right, he's hidden a little bit because of the system he plays in.
And there'll be Wood on the, well, I didn't want to call it a zone read. There was no read to that, but on the quarterback run to the 16-yard line. Now 3rd down and 3 for the Miners, and a big opportunity for Herriman to get a stop, hold the Miners to a field goal attempt, which being one of the rare teams in the state of Utah that always kicks field goals in this situation.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be an important stop for Herriman. Dusty, giving up a touchdown here late in the half would give well, really a nice shot of confidence to the Bingham Miners given the half that they've played.
So 3rd down and 3. Wood, pressure comes. Slips it once, slips it twice, still looking, fires to Ka'ili, and it's incomplete.
Man, we got Vaseline on the gloves. I mean, it's not often that you get outside of a sack opportunity. This front for Herriman usually so good. And you see, I mean, the once, give a lot of credit, getting right back up there
Drake
on the
Elliott.
play. And, boy, just a couple of opportunities to bring down Ryan Wood. Couldn't do it. And, hey, look at this.
Just to prove me wrong, Coach Lamborn goes for it on 4th down. 4th and 3. Wood fires toward the end zone. He's got Cosper. Back shoulder catch. Touchdown. Bingham Miners. Oh, wait a minute. We have got a flag on the play. The Miners still celebrating. So personal foul, face mask penalty again away from the ball. That's 2 now.
Dusty, what is this? It's 4th down and Bingham's going for it. They're throwing the football. Wow, just crazy. You have a look at the top side. And Kaili, you see that helmet just get ripped right off his head. That was the flag. But how about this throw by Wood? I mean, we talk Bingham doesn't throw the ball very often, but Dusty, that one thrown right over the corner before the safety can get their beautiful throw, and Bingham takes the lead.
Late in the first half, it's the Miners 14, Herriman 7. You are watching the 6A semifinals on live.ksl and deseretnews.com. Late in the first half, and because of the penalty, it'll be the Miners kicking off on the Herriman 45. This is where I'd love to see a shorter kick, and we never see it.
I would onside in that situation, Dusty.
Onside or just pooch it. Just a short little kick, make him return it, and let your return get on top of him. But I'm sitting up in a booth with the headset on, but just not the one that goes to the coaching staff.
Well, Bingham doesn't wear them anyway, so it wouldn't do you much good.
I was going to point out one of the times there was one coach, one coach wearing a headset. Because, yeah, you're right. They're a lo-fi coaching staff, much to the surprise of many powers in the country that have played against and watched the Miners. But 1:13 left, and it looks like Coach Pierce is just going to be content to come out and take a knee and take this game to the half.
The ironic thing is, shoot, I mean, you got 1:10 left on the clock. It's like, well, gosh, you can't run out a minute. Bingham's going to take time. Oh, wait. No timeouts for the Miners. Nothing they can do. And I think given his offense, I actually don't blame him.
I don't know. You hit big on one play earlier. There's every reason you run a fake 26 blast with a backside George reverse and tell him to run like his life depends on it. But no, really, they're running a play action and go deep where you get Bingham being really aggressive. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that's what I would do. And it doesn't make me right. But it'll be the Herriman Mustangs kneeling out the clock to go into the half. And, in a half where they have to look back on it and say, you know what, it's one mistake, and this is a 7-7 ball game.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, to counter that, Dusty, is Freeland 2 of 6, 44 yards, a touchdown. Look, he's had a really nice throw over the top, but the coverage was there. It was a great play made by the receiver. I think, look, you're in this ball game. It's one possession. You've learned a lot. Go to halftime, make your adjustments, come out in the second half, and hope that your defense can continue to play like they did in the first half.
And that'll do it for the first half. We go to the locker rooms. The Miners lead 14-7 over Herriman. Hope you enjoy the halftime. And we'll be back with the second half. You are watching the 6A semifinals on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. And welcome back into Rice Eccles Stadium. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you. 14-7 is our halftime score, and the Bingham Miners, Dane, offensively, Herriman started finding their way defensively, but Bingham able to close out the half on a nice touchdown drive. They have 2 scores, and one of which was a defensive touchdown on a pick 6 on Herriman's first drive. But since then, Herriman's actually played very, very well, but Bingham on the last drive able to find their offense.
Well, Dusty, I'm going to disagree. I don't think they found their offense. They found a new offense. I mean, all of a sudden you've got Bingham lining up 5 receiver sets, 4th and 2. And, I mean, you mentioned it before, that 4th down. If there's a team left in Utah that's going to kick a field goal in that scenario, it's Bingham. Well, apparently there's no teams left because they go for it, and it's the 4th down play that is the go-ahead touchdown for the Bingham Miners. And, I mean, to me, I think Ryan Wood, he threw an interception, but he's been really good, and a couple of big completions on that drive. Only 68 yards passing in the contest. Both quarterbacks have been held to pretty low numbers in the passing game. But for me, if I'm Herriman, got to find a way to get back to running the football. Quincy Sandoval has been their most successful tailback in that first half.
And it'll be Herriman on the receiving end here to start the half. And I love Bingham made him return it, put it right in front of the goal line. And it'll be starting field position at the 19 for the Mustangs.
You know, we talked a lot about Maya Leakehi coming into this one. He's their leading rusher, statistically averaging 4 yards per carry coming in. And in the first half, Dusty, you know, I'm keeping unofficial stats here. Yay for tick marks. Maya Leakehi, 6 carries, 5 yards. I mean, Bingham's really locked him up. I mentioned Quincy Sandoval, 5 carries, 17. This ground attack only with 26 yards rushing unofficially in that first half.
We'll start with Leakehi in the backfield. Single set. And it'll be Leakehi on the left side, and he is brought down on a short gain, and is Malachi Fotu on the stop, or Malachi Fotu. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And this is the thing where I think Bingham, I mean, even though it's just a 7-point ball game, it's 1 possession. But if they get a defensive stop here, and that offense gets back on the field, I think this is starting to play right into where Bingham wants this ball game.
And Samote Pepa could not hold his water. Among the short list of things he could not hold or lift or push or throw, he jumps off sides. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Boy, Samote Pepa, you know, I saw him as a sophomore last year and really started to promote Pepa and what he brings for this Bingham Miner defense. And, I mean, usually a very disciplined player and a little frustrated with himself that he got caught there committing the offsides.
And it'll be Leakehi on the carry. And he is snowed under by Sea of Blue. And it'll now be 3rd down and 6 on a loss of 1.
Yeah, and I mean, Leakehi, the lanes just haven't been there. And, you know, one of the things that's been tough is seeing a lot of interior runs. Do you try to stretch him outside or get something around the edge? And when you've got Longy around the perimeter, I mean, I don't know that that's any better of an option.
Third and long. Gonna fire, and that ball's intercepted. Jumped the route, did Tanner Merrill. And Merrill, who had the pick 6 in the first quarter, has the interception here. And it is Bingham Miner football.
Boy, Merrill clearly did not like having the tie for the lead in interceptions on this team. How about 2 picks for Tanner Merrill? And this one, Dusty, you mentioned just jumping it. I mean, that is a tough throw. You're throwing across the width of the field, and Merrill able to close down and makes a diving catch. And, you know, the turnover that Bingham gave away back inside their own 10, the fumble that led to the Herriman touchdown. Herriman now returning the favor. I mean, not as bad. It's not 1st and goal. But, boy, Bingham set up beautifully to come back out on offense here with a 7-point lead.
Out comes Wood and the offense. And it is Ka'ili on the carry. And Omoni Ka'ili had just under 40 yards rushing in the first half. And the leading rusher, actually not leading rusher. How about this? Ryan Wood, the leading rusher for the Miners in the first half.
Yeah, 2 17-yard carries helped Ryan Wood. Both of them on 1st down, and both of them essentially draws. I mean, one the quarterback sneak, but been an interesting game plan for Bingham offensively today, one that I don't think I've seen from the Miners.
Here comes Whistler, and Whistler inside the 20-yard line. Braden only had 6 yards rushing in the first half, had the fumble that was costly, then leading to Herriman's touchdown. But the leading rusher for the Miners on the season been held in check.
Yeah, and that's his largest gain of the day, Dusty, and they've done a pretty good job of bottling him up. Again, a lot of the interior running lanes, those A-B gaps have really been clogged on both sides of the football, and that time Whistler, bit of a stretch, turning it upfield, and a nice job picking up 5 yards on the play to set up 3rd and short.
Quickly to line come the Miners. They bring Longy in, and it's going to be Wood rolling to his right. He has the first down with his legs, and he'll be brought down around the 12-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Miners after Ryan Wood picks up another first down with his feet.
And a nice job. I mean, this looked like a bootleg the entire way. Cosper isn't even looking back for a route, and they leak out Kaili. So, I mean, it could have been a pass. It was kind of interesting because to me it looked like different options were showing different signs, but Wood able to tuck it and run, pick up the first down, and back in business behind their senior quarterback, Ryan Wood.
Whistler now the deep back in the offset eye. And it'll be Whistler coming near side. He didn't have a shot. Knifing through and getting the stop is Braxton Pierce. And it'll be a loss of 1 for Whistler.
I know where you were going with that. He didn't have nothing.
He ain't got
no, he
nothing.
did not. Look at the penetration and making just a diving stab at the feet of Whistler from the ground already. On the play was Braxton Pierce.
You know, in the soft world that we live in, Pierce got to get lucky throwing legs around like that after a stop.
Yeah, look out, folks. Where's the flag, huh?
Love that play for Pierce. That was great effort. Wood to throw, pump fakes one side, comes back near side. He's got some room to run. No, he doesn't. He gets absolutely leveled. Leakehi, one of 3 Leakehis, come up and just pops, lays the wood to Wood. Nagana.
And this time the target in the end zone. So you see Wood, he wanted to go right side. It's covered. He comes back left side, and he's got Cosper near side, but the coverage is in the end zone completely locked up. There's no way that Wood can do anything with this football.
Third down and 8. 2 receivers near side, and is Milne at the top of the screen, but we've got a timeout first. Timeout Miners. 7:19 left in the third. Miners 14-7. Out of the timeout for the Bingham Miners. Third down and 8. And Dave, maybe they're going to run a double reverse or something. I mean, I'm no longer going to try to say what the Miners are going to do, because look at this. It is a 2-by-2 formation for Coach John Lamborn. The only time I saw him in the shotgun was with Stephen Cantwell, and that was 9 years ago. Third down and 8. Wood over the middle, the Whistler, and it's broken up. No flag on the play, and it'll be 4th down for Bingham, and now comes the field goal unit.
Are you sure, Dusty? Pursley coming up over the top on the coverage and able to break that ball up. Nice job by 42, and boy, the Herriman defense placed in a real precarious scenario. And for now, because I'm with you, I'm not prognosticating anything. For now, with a hold.
26-yard field goal attempt. Oh, they had a lot of pressure on that ball, and it's up, and it is good. Thought Herriman might even got it. 17-7 the lead for the Bingham Miners. It'll be Herriman ball when we come back. You're watching the 6A semifinals on the Watch It Network. 7:09 remaining in the third quarter, and it's a 17-7 lead for the Bingham Miners. After the field goal was good, nearly blocked, may have been tipped on the Lopez attempt.
Yeah, we were looking at a replay on the Jumbotron here, and it looked like
Jordan Kirkwood.
The referee signaled it did get deflected.
And Jordan Kirkwood might have got a piece of that. And this will be returned from the 4-yard line, coming near side. And not much there. Gets across the 15-yard line to the 18 on the return from Herrera. So 7:01 remaining in the third quarter, and now Herriman got to get moving, down 2 scores. I'm not saying you have to go hurry up offense. I'm moving, just get a little more aggressive. No?
I don't know about get it more aggressive. I mean, I think that they've tried to throw the ball more in Freeland with a couple of picks. And, I mean, the one was kind of fluky off of the foot, but the other one's a great play by this Bingham defense. To me, you've got to get the ground game going. And if that means get Sandoval the ball.
And it's Leia Cahey on the carry on first down. It'll be second down and long.
And once again, we see a run between the tackles, and I mean, it's just not there, hasn't been there. I mean, to me, you got to try something else. Try a screen, try something.
Aggressiveness. Second down, run power. And nothing doing there either. The blue line of Bingham is standing up and playing very, very well, very stout, as Amanaki Engilau was in on there.
See, and when I hear you say aggressive, I'm thinking like 30-yard bombs and that sort of thing.
No.
And that's where I'm like, no, I don't think I'd go quite there yet. But if aggressive is outside of between the tackle runs, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
shake and bake. So it's now third down and 10. Leia Cahey, the deep back. And we've got a false start. Actually, if anything, you could also even call encroachment on that. There was movement on the outside there as well with Latu, but you're going to get a false start here against Herriman.
Dusty, so, again, unofficial stats here. We're midway through the third quarter. Unofficially, 60 total yards for Herriman. 60.
In the game.
In the game.
Tough sledding against this Bingham defense. 3 down front. Freeland just got rid of that football, and wow, that goes through a number of defenders' hands and arms and elbows and somehow finds Ben Fife. But it's 4th down and 5.
Boy, look at this. Fortunate, the pressure coming around by Longy, and I think it just gets enough. The tip, and boy, I mean, whew. I thought Matangi may have had an opportunity to pick that ball off, and the deflection by the underneath receiver right into the hands of Ben Fife, but wow. Again, that pass rush getting there, and Bingham only brought 3 or 4.
Whistler waiting around the 40-yard line from this punt from Leia Cahey. And this one takes a minor bounce to the 42-yard line. It'll be Bingham football at their own 42. And Dane, right now, dangerous territory for the Herriman Mustangs, trailing by 10. And the Miners have very good field position.
Yeah, they do. And I think that they've got that rhythm going again. We've got a penalty flag.
Holding on the Miners on the return. So now take over from 32.
I was going to say interesting because usually that's a spot foul, right? And the penalty flag was more near midfield. So obviously they didn't throw it where the spot occurred, but a costly penalty by the Bingham special team unit.
The Whistler, the deep back for the offense. And it'll be Whistler on first down. And Braden across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Gain of 5, and it'll be second down and 5 for the Miners. Whistler been held in check. Talked about that in the last drive. Only 14 yards rushing on 7 carries.
Yeah, Ka'ili as well. Dusty averaging just over 3 per carry.
And it's Whistler on 2nd down and nears the. Well, how many squirt out of there? He might be diminutive, but it doesn't mean much. He gets to the 44-yard line, as I declared him down about 3 different times, and gets to the 43.
I think part of the Herriman defense did as well. You see him in here, and I mean, just inside the mass, and somehow he's able to spin out of it. And then look at Whistler. He's not listed as the biggest kid on this roster, 5'7", 165, just a junior, but showing a great usage of his strength. And, you know, strength not always demonstrated by your weight. And Whistler that time just wouldn't go down for the Bingham Miners.
Trips to the top of the screen, and it's Whistler, the deep back. They pitch out to Braden, and he cannot find the alley there as he has a yard on 1st down. And it is Leakehi on the stop.
Yeah, and that time the contain forcing Whistler back inside, and this front 7 of Herriman, we've talked about, they model themselves after Bingham, and just like Bingham has done all day, once that runner gets turned upfield in the middle of the field, just not a lot of room to work.
And they're going to go screen back to Cosper. Herriman diagnosed that very, very well. Thought maybe that ball get tipped in the air or something, but it'll be 3rd down and 9 now for Bingham.
Boy, everyone diagnosed that well. Tremendous pressure up front. Look at that pursuit by the defensive line, and then coming up there was Nana, able to put the pressure on Cosper. Right as that ball got there, fantastic recognition by this Herriman defense. They were ready for that one.
3rd and 9, Ka'ili and Whistler in the backfield now with Wood. Gonna throw. Fires over the middle to a wide open target. And I think he may have been short of the 1st down marker. Needed to get to the 47-yard line. And Burge makes the grab, and from where we're sitting, he is half a yard shy. And he is marked short.
Just like we'd expect, the offense on the field on 4th down for Bingham.
They're going quickly here, and they got the jump. Fotu could not stay down, and it is an offside penalty. Or was it a... Yeah, offsides. Fotu could just not hang on there. And it is 1st down. Here's Ka'ili. And Amone brought down at the 40-yard line. A gain of 3.
Well, we've got to be careful. That was maybe the first run that we've seen between the tackles, Dusty, that was close to being broken. And just one hand on Ka'ili right at the hips, able to bring him down. But if he's able to slip through that one, well, there's a lot of rubber grass in front of him.
Well done.
Yeah.
Here's a give again to Ka'ili. And Amone, man, he just keeps going inside the 35-yard line to the 34. And it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Miners.
And this is, again, what we expect from Bingham, right? Wear you down, power, use that physicality. The patience by Ka'ili, just letting his line do the work and just filling in right behind him. A nice run that gives 5 more yards to this Bingham offense.
Herriman changes up some of that defensive front, see if they get somebody else out there. As Kump now in at the defensive end at the top of the screen. And it'll be Wood. Gonna throw to a wide open Braden Whistler. Whistler is gone. Touchdown, Bingham Miners. Whistler held in check on the ground. Well, they get to him in the air. And the young man, the young junior, finds pay dirt.
Oh, man, what a throw by Wood, and it's even a little behind Whistler, but Whistler able to just wait around long enough for that one to get to him, and Boy, talk about setting up a play, huh? I mean, all of those interior runs, and I've started to be like, well, do something else, and they do something else. It goes 33 yards for a touchdown.
And the extra point is up and good. 56 seconds remain in the third quarter, and it is Bingham 24, Herriman 7. You're watching the 6A semifinals on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com.
Dusty, you talk about that last touchdown, and boy, what a great job of selling that by really the entire Bingham offense. I mean, Wood, it looks like a quarterback run all the way, and then you take the smallest man on the field and literally sneak him through the defense, and Whistler, boy, making Herriman pay a big play in this ball game for the Bingham Miners.
Yeah, absolutely, because I don't think anyone saw it. We're watching it, kind of see him like, oh, as soon as he pulled up, and you see
all of a sudden
Whistler.
He's there, and it's like, oh, shoot.
Lopez to kick it away. And it'll be taken at the 3-yard line by Herrera. Coming near side. And Herrera cannot get to the 20-yard line, gets to the 12. And you're seeing why you do that. Very Belichickian by Coach Lamborn and the Miners.
Yeah, and I mean, it's worked out really well, Dusty. And, you know, we did the semifinal games yesterday and the semifinal game this morning, and we've seen a lot of touchbacks. And for Bingham right now, I mean, they just feel quicker, bigger, stronger, and, you know, recognize an opportunity where they can stick Herriman even further back by keeping those balls out of the end zone, and Herriman starting at their own 12 here.
Leakehi, the deep back, and it'll be play action. Going to go deep, and that ball is incomplete. Luckily, it was not intercepted. And the Miner defender comes up a little limp there. That's Matangi. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, Marquez Hamilton also there. And Hamilton, a player that I saw earlier this year against Lone Peak, the junior corner. Where's number 23? Was impressed with him in that Lone Peak game. Of course, a lot more receivers to defend when you play Lone Peak. But he was right in that area of that incompletion.
Pitch out to Leakehi. Nothing doing. There's so many Bingham Miners there, and Ata was right there as well.
You know, it's the luxury that Bingham has, and we've mentioned the corner play of Cosper and Milne, and now Hamilton. I mean, they really feel like they can lock you up on the outside, which allows the rest of that defense to just flow with the run. And when you're playing a team like Herriman, when you're able to throw 8, 9 guys in the box, really dedicated to stopping the run game, it makes things relatively easy on the defensive end.
Third down, 11. Final play of the third quarter. Freeland. Pressure comes. He gets rid of it. It's intercepted. Dax Milne. Inside the 20 and dropped to the 19. A flag comes in. And I think this is going to be a penalty. And as Milne with the interception. But we got a blocking penalty against the Miners after the interception.
See this? Freeland feels the pressure. Know he's run out of time. Just has to get rid of it. And the pressure maybe even led that throw away from the receiver. And I mean, just right to Milne. And just not a lot you can do. You see right there, I think it's the penalty, the block in the back coming in. I thought it was 32. Dusty's giving me a 22. I thought it might have been Kaili.
I thought it was Ata.
Kaili doesn't play defense, Dusty. So once again, I'm going to say you are probably right.
Thank you, Dane.
Hey, you know,
You just talk to my wife and tell her that usually works too.
If she doesn't listen to you, she's not going to listen to me.
So blocking the back on Samote Pepa, that's declined, and the other one taken on Ata. And that'll do it for the third quarter. We head to the fourth quarter, and it's all Bingham, and they'll have the football, and we start the fourth quarter. The winner will take on East in the 6A championship next week. You're watching 6A semifinals on Live.KSL and DeseretNews.com. Welcome back into Rice-Eccles Stadium. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart with you. And again, our commentary brought to you by Tosh Orthopedic Specialty Hospital. If you've got anything going on, you need to get it looked at, shoulder, knee, hip, anything. Get to the experts at Tosh for a free injury assessment. Call 801-314-4040. Start of the fourth quarter, and it's the Bingham Miners with a commanding 24-7 lead. And they're looking to add to it after the interception. It is Whistler, the deep back. Wood's going to throw. Wood loading up. Wood going to Milne. And he cannot catch up to that one. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, it was like a quadruple. Unable to catch up to the ball. Back in coverage was Isi Leakehi. A nice job on this near side, making it tough for Milne to do work.
We go back and forth on the Milne thing, but I think it was a family member that told me it was Milne.
I'll go with that. I asked a coach, and he said Milne. I just have no idea.
And here's Whistler. We'll just go 50-50 share on that. So we go to the 35-yard line on the carry from Whistler, gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down and 7. But what he is Dax Milne is a very, very underrated player. He makes big plays and big moments on both sides of the ball for the Miners.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. He's only got the one catch today, Dusty. But, I mean, we mentioned Cosper, but Milne is really the complementary. He averages almost as many yards per catch as Cosper does, but much fewer attempts. 7 touchdowns on the year. Number 5 is a solid option for Wood in this offense.
Going to run the speed option, and it got some room down the sideline and out of bounds.
How about a different quarterback in here for Bingham, Dusty, and Peyton Jones coming in, getting the carry.
Now, Peyton Jones and Ryan Wood were in a quarterback battle at the beginning of the year. In fact, they ran rotating quarterbacks at the beginning of the year, speaking of Coach Lamborn and the Miners. And it was an injury to Peyton Jones and knocked him out and gave the starting job to Ryan Wood. So good to see him healthy and out there being used. And it'll be Kaili on the carries. He spins inside the 20-yard line of the 19. A gain of 5. And it'll be 2nd down and 5.
And we're starting to see Kaili now back up near his average. If you remember that first half, it was like 6 carries, 19 yards. Not very productive according to what he has typically been used to. But you look at a lot of these runs coming in the second half, 6 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, 5. I mean, he's getting more chunk yardage on the ground for this Bingham offense.
Wood rolls near side, looking toward the end zone, and it's Milne getting on the ground and making the grab at the 6-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down for the Bingham Miners. 1st and goal for the Miners.
Talk about beautiful timing, huh? We were just talking about Milne and stacks. Maybe undersold both of these receivers, Cosper as well, but that's an impressive grab. I mean, that's not easy, having to leave the feet, dive into the turf to haul that one in, and fantastic grab by Milne to set up 1st and goal for Bingham.
And he gets down. I mean, we're seeing a play on the Jumbotron, and he's underneath it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And it'll be Whistler coming back up the middle, and Braden in the end zone for his 2nd score. He's got one through the air, and now he's got one on the ground as well. And Braden Whistler may have just put the nail in the coffin and punched the ticket to the 6A championship game for the Miners.
Yeah. Fantastic touchdown run here by Braden Whistler. His leader, Casey Lewis, actually stumbled on the play. Whistler turns upfield and able to get away from contact, finish it off, and redeeming himself for his earlier fumble and taking a game where he really struggled in that first half as well, Dusty, and now turning it into a pretty nice day.
10:04 remaining in the 4th quarter, and the Miners with a commanding 31-7 lead over Herriman. You are watching the 6A semifinals on Live.KSL and DeseretNews.com. Oh, wayward son whistle, and welcome back to Rice Eccles Stadium.
You know, I just took it as your touchdown call for Braden Whistler.
Hey!
Hey!
I will make sure to share that. His mom, Kaylin, a good friend, and to be sure to mention that. Listen for the whistle.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, how about Whistler? You know, I mean, the young junior. We kind of talked about him. Well, not kind of. We did in our preseason 30 for 30. Thought that he could have a real nice role in this Bingham offense, and boy, what a year he has had. The junior coming back, and he started to see his recruiting pick up a little bit this year, and boy, a player for Coach Lamborn and the Bingham Miners to be really excited about for next season.
You know, kind of an interesting day today, and been good to see the last couple of drives of him get settled in, because young junior, they're going to need him next week.
And that's going to be a whole different level of ball game, Dusty, the physicality of that East team.
Well, and he had a terrific game against East in week 2, and I imagine Coach Matich and the Leopards, that's not happening again kind of thing, and it'll be next week's going to be a lot of fun. And watch Deseret News Rewind. Dane Stewart and myself, Dusty Litster, going to be previewing the 6A championship game. We'll talk about these semifinals from today and also get you ready for next week. Our 5A video is already out. Go check that one out as we have the battle for Lehigh City next Friday at 6:30. Then the 2:30 game will be right now looking like the Bingham Miners and the East High Leopards, a rematch of week 2 and a championship game we all wanted a year ago. And on first down, my goodness gracious, it's almost like Bingham was in the huddle, and they had no shot on that play for McCall Morris on the zone read in the Wildcat.
Yeah, had a new quarterback in to take that snap for Herriman. Can't tell if it's Herrera.
Yeah, they're running Wildcat. What it looked like.
But boy, yeah, Bingham all over that one. I mean, just not a lot of room to operate at all.
Yeah, Herrera stays in the Wildcat formation. And it'll be Herrera going to run the draw. And he gets across the 20-yard line to the 23. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Mustangs. And it looks as though Freeland will come back in the game here.
So I wasn't quite sure if we were going to see Freeland back. just given the tough day that he's had, but you're right, back in the huddle here. And Herrera saw him pull up. Almost like he was going to threaten to throw, but don't know that Bingham took that threat too seriously.
Freeland has pressure from Longy, fires complete, and it'll be a catch and run for a first down across the 35-yard line. And on the catch is Trey Bartlett, and it's 1st and 10 at the 36.
Well, Bingham a little frustrated with themselves on this one. The coverage was nearby. Nice throw by Freeland to get to Bartlett, but when you saw the DB come back and retreat, make the tackle, almost throw him to the ground, frustrated that wasn't in position to make that play.
Morrison, the pistol behind Freeland. Freeland lets it go. Got a receiver down there. Makes a grab, but he's out of bounds. That ball is incomplete. Nice effort. And it was intended for Caleb Alvey.
Boy, Alvey did everything he could to try to make that catch. And Herriman right now trailing by 24 in the 4th quarter. I mean, obviously you're swinging for the fence every time at the plate, right? And looking deep for Alvey and able to come down, but just not enough room to make the catch, though. A for effort.
Freeland, pressure comes. Oh my goodness, he took a pop. An absolute lick on that play. Is coming through really unevaded was Amanaki Ingilau. And it's now 3rd down and 17.
Boy, almost whiplash on the play. I mean, Freeland just gets absolutely hit. And Freeland, he's a pretty big quarterback. He's listed at 6'7", and man, you take one right in the stomach like that, and there's a lot of movement in that upper body.
3rd down and 16. Freeland fires to the wheel route. Got a man, makes the adjustment, and makes the catch. What a terrific job by Ben Fife. And it'll be 1st and 10 Mustangs at the Miner 45.
Well, some of these Herriman receivers now winning balls in the air. We mentioned the one just a couple plays ago by Alvey. He was out of bounds, and now Fife making an impressive grab in the air. Herriman offense not going away quietly, and out of this pistol finding some success through the air.
Freeland looks near side, and that ball was nearly and could have been intercepted by Kobe Matangi. It'll be 2nd and 10.
If I'm not mistaken, Matangi picked up an offer from SUU, I think it was earlier this week. And you can see a guy that really flies around. We've called his name a couple of times tonight. A great defender for the Bingham Miners. The senior has had a good year, 6'3", 190.
Trips to the bottom of the screen, one receiver at the top. Freeland fires, intercepted. Matangi didn't get it the first time, he got it this time. Matangi inside the 40 and finally brought down at the 35. The 3rd interception of the day, 4th interception of the day. And the Miners will have 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. And Bingham doing Bingham things.
Yeah, and oh boy, this one, Matangi, he had target practice the time before, and this time able to get it cleanly. A fantastic job just running down, snagging that ball out of the air, baiting the throw. Again, this is a throw to the wide side, and tough to make that throw. Freeland, especially when you aren't throwing the ball very often, it's tough to ask your quarterback to make that deep of a throw, and Matangi coming up and creating another turnover.
Out comes Peyton Jones now at quarterback. And Peyton hands to the fullback, Cameron Mitchell. And Mitchell has a gain of 3 yards as Coach Lamborn helping guys get their Letterman's jacket. You appear in a playoff game, normally gets you a varsity letter.
Not regular season down here?
You can get regular season, not one appearance in the regular season. It has to be one appearance. Normally, there's a whole list of things you can accomplish. Not merit badges,
We do things a little differently in the great state of Idaho, my friend.
I don't know. So you appear in a regular season game, you earn a letter on varsity.
Well, that was my understanding.
Okay.
Maybe that's not true.
Well, I mean, I think every school might have a different one, but Carbon High School, I mean, we just don't.
Yeah.
We don't just hand out letters with the Dinos until it's a playoff game and it's 69-0, and you finally get on the field as a sophomore.
I usually like to stay positive, but you're kind of bringing this one out of me, Dusty. It's hard to earn letters if you have to be in a playoff game at Carbon.
Hey. All 3 years. Well, 2 out of 3. Here comes Peyton Jones, and he can't get away from the pressure, and down he goes. Is Nana Lakehi with the sack. That's played by Nana, and it is 4th down, and the punting unit will come on for the Bingham Miners.
Dusty, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the first sack of the game for this Herriman defense? I'm trying to think.
I think you're right, and yes, I think most of the tackles behind the line of scrimmage have been tackles for loss.
Yeah, fantastic job by Nana, not falling for the play action there. The bootleg, tracking down Jones from behind, and nice job by the young sophomore for Herriman.
4th down, and Bingham will go for it. And not before they talk it over. Coach Lamborn was watching that play clock dwindle away. And we will take it with them. 5:02 remaining in the 4th quarter. Timeout, Bingham. We came out of timeout to go right back into timeout. Bingham likes to take back-to-back timeouts today. We'll be right back. 5:02 left in the 4th. And welcome back. Bingham going to punt here. Ryan Wood gets that one away, taken from the 10-yard line by Herrera. Coming to the sideline, and Herrera gets across the 30-yard line before Batongi slings him out of bounds. And it'll be Herriman football with 4 minutes.
You know, Tyson Herrera, Dusty's had a nice game, and we've seen him on both sides of the football. One of the seniors that will be graduating from this Herriman group, and a lot of talk about the defensive players of this Herriman squad. We've talked about Fotu and Pierce, as well as Kump. I mean, there's a lot of guys up front, seniors, that are going to be moving on from Herriman, and Herrera just another one of them.
You look up and down this roster, I mean, you got a pretty good mix of underclassmen and seniors, and you know, these seniors won a state championship their sophomore year, so they're going to leave with a ring on their hand, speaking of Herriman. And, you know, this is a season that, you know, Coach Pierce likes to call it the preseason, not just non-region. And actually, we got a timeout on the field, and we'll take it with him just to have nothing else. We have 4:50 left in the 4th quarter. And we'll take a step. We'll step aside. We'll come right back. You're watching the 6A semifinals on the Watch It Network. Welcome back to Rice Eccles Stadium. Freeland remains in. It's an empty set backfield. They're going to throw to the bubble screen, and this is Fife. And Fife brought down by Ata. There's a 22-on-22 tackle, and it'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Mustangs.
It's one of the things we were calling for a little earlier, Dustin. I mean, you mentioned it, under the guise of being more aggressive, and for me it was throw something else, right? A screen or something to try to open up this Bingham defense. And we've seen, obviously they threw a pick on the last drive, but we've seen them have some success in the air, just going away from some of those interior runs.
And another pass intercepted, and this one is Braxton Shoemaker. And that is the 5th interception of the day for the young Blake Freeman, the young junior quarterback.
And this time just a flat-out miscommunication. His receiver's running out, and this ball is thrown as if he's going to sit down. And, right into the stomach of Braxton Shoemaker, the senior, with his first interception of the game.
This has been a Bingham Miners style game. It was 14-7 at the half. They had a defensive touchdown. They've made a lot of mistakes, and it was, well, we'll get you in the second half. And here's the interesting thing between Bingham and East. The second halves of both of those teams, Dane, a lot of forced turnovers, and took care of business in both their respective games.
And, to me, when I look at that game, Dusty, it's really going to come down to which quarterback plays better. They really have offenses where a lot of teams try to load up and stop the run, and they both have really great playmakers on both sides of the ball. To me, who's going to be able to catch the other defense sneaking up more often and burn them in the air? I think that's going to be a real key in the 6A state championship game. We saw East particularly open that passing game up in the second half. Wonder if they'll try to do the same thing next week against Bingham.
Very interesting. And when Maddox did that, it was really at a time where they couldn't run the football. It's like, all right, let's try this. We're gonna spread
and it opened everything up.
Yep. And on the carry is Bingham's number 33, Raymond Lewis. And Raymond has a loss of 1, and it's 3rd down and 11. Stick around after this game. We're going to have the Orem versus Skyview game. That's going to be outstanding. Skyview's undefeated on the season. Orem's lost a couple of games, but they've been on a run. They played the East Bingham Miners week 1. It didn't look very good.
Yeah.
And then they got on a roll shortly thereafter.
How's this for a hashtag tease, Dusty? We've got a record watch tonight. Puka Nakua has 22 receiving touchdowns this year. He's 2 back of the state record set by Simi Fahoko at Brighton just a couple of years ago. So we can have a new state record in that ball game tonight.
Love the note. Timeout taken by the Miners. That is their 3rd and final. We'll take it with them. Bingham up 31-7. Well, the Miners, in a rarity, used up all 6 timeouts. They went all 3 timeouts back in the first half. And now here in the 4th quarter. But Lewis, the deep back in the I formation, 3rd down, 11. And that should stop the play, and it does. Peyton Jones lost his foot, but he got stepped on as he was dropping back there. And it's now 4th down and 13. I'll say this about Coach Lamborn. He never lets up. He is not happy about that. Ryan Wood will kick it away. Herrera waiting around the 10-yard line. Bend over and kick. The problem is not Herrera. On the return was Miles Jefferson. And the young junior, the backup quarterback, gets to the 18-yard line, and that's where Herriman will have one of their final possessions of this season, Dane. And, a lot of guys are going to be coming back for these Herriman Mustangs. We're going to have plenty of time to talk about the Bingham Miners. But Herriman, dang, they got a lot of guys that'll be coming back. Freeland will be coming back. They have, one of the Leakehis, Nana would be coming back. I didn't realize he was just a sophomore till not that long ago.
Yep.
And then, but you'll lose EC and you'll lose Mai will be gone. And so there's guys you're going to be replacing, but there are a lot coming back for these Mustangs.
Let me give you one other name, Dusty. Alex Anderson, 6'4" receiver, a big target for Freeland. He tries to connect to Jackson, a junior, 6'5" junior. So some of these targets coming back in the Herriman offense. And, it's – I don't want this to be taken the wrong way. You've got great outside targets. You've got a big quarterback. Will Herriman be able to use him next year, right? And you can understand Freeland started last year as a sophomore and still gaining some experience this year, his junior year. I mean, do you trust him more to throw the ball next year? I think that's going to be something that Coach Pierce is going to have to think about in the offseason, not because of this performance, but just because of where your assets are on the offensive side next year. Well, you got a lot of height on the perimeter to use.
And that is intercepted by Malachi Fotu. And that is the 6th interception for the Bingham defense today.
Yeah, in fairness, this is a backup quarterback. This is Miles Jefferson in there. It was no longer Freeland, but thrown behind the target, and a fantastic job there by Fotu to come make the pick.
Got Jackson James, number 17.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was 12. He was also listed as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Both. So anyway.
So Jackson James says 6th interception of the day. And this is a Bingham defense that feasts on turnovers. And now I believe we have another quarterback in for the Bingham Miners. I don't know why we're waiting.
Yeah, there's no timeouts to be taken.
McKay Larson. And a different McKay Larson than I know. But
I saw you do the double take. You're like, wait, what?
A young swimmer, young freshman swimmer for the Corner Canyon Chargers.
How about this, Dusty? We knew Bingham's defense was good. Unofficially, 107 total yards for Herriman.
Imagine, a lot of those yards come off because of all the sacks as well.
Yeah. So unofficially, I've got 15 yards lost due to sack.
Okay.
So even at that, I mean, you put those in there, you're at 125 yards given up by Bingham today, 120. Pretty darn good. East, get ready, because this defense is coming for you next.
And we're going to talk about this a lot. Watch out for our 6A preview show. We're going to have plenty of time, as right now we're setting the 5A and 6A classifications, and it is going to be a terrific afternoon. And you could join us right here at the Watch It Network on live.ksl and DeseretNews.com. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart. We will have all 3 games next Friday for you. And of course, we have the next game as well, but we will preview that 6A at the game and at the 11 o'clock win against Lone Peak. And it is the Bingham Miners with a 31-7 victory over the Herriman Mustangs, and Bingham heading back to the state championship game once again. And we will go through what's happened since 2006. The Miners that year got over the hump at Bicycle Stadium for the most part since then in the largest classification in the state of Utah. And they get another win. They stay undefeated against the Herriman Mustangs and undefeated on the season with a 31-7 win. Dane Stewart, your thoughts?
Boy, it's just tough when you have turnovers. When you play Bingham, you have to play a clean game. I thought Bingham was a little out of sorts early on. Give a lot of credit. Coach Lamborn settling down the team, getting the running game back on track. But, boy, 6 interceptions. I mean, rarely going to ever win a game when you throw 6 interceptions. Herriman got behind the 8 ball, trying to come back, couldn't do it. This Bingham defense was steady all game long. The only touchdown given up, Dusty, was off a turnover, first and goal inside the 10. Bingham's defense is what is leading them back to the state championship game.
Congratulations to the Bingham Miners heading back to the state championship game where they'll take on the East Leopards. And for the Herriman Mustangs, this is a young program, and nonetheless, we're not even 10 years of existence at this school. Their second trip to Rice-Eccles Stadium. Congratulations to Coach Pierce on a season you start 0-4 to go all the way to Rice-Eccles Stadium on that year. Second seed out of Region 3. You took East down to the wire. Could have won that ball game. It was a miraculous finish for the East High Leopards, or they could have won a region championship. That tells you the program that he's building, and it's working. and things will continue to go well. Terrific year for Herriman, but this day belongs to the Bingham Miners as they get back to the state championship game to take on the East High Leopards. Congratulations to Bingham in getting that win. For Dane Stewart and Thompson Coles, and for our crew, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching the 6A semifinals on Live at KSL and DeseretNews.com.